Mr. Roboto.
Domo arigato, geek to me radio, da 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 da. Domo arigato, geek to me radio, da 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 da.
Welcome, geeks and nerds, girls and boys, to a brand new episode of Geek to Me Radio. Tonight, we have Deb Hays on discussing Big River Comic Con coming up in just about 11 days. The fantastic guests she'll have there. After that, Teo Penglis joins us to discuss his new podcast, The Great Escape. All that and more. Stand by.
We're talking TV, comics and movies, and video games. And if you don't know Star Trek from Star Wars, we'll try to explain. There are 12 doctors for Hogwarts houses, one ring rules them all. To be the greatest Pokemon master, you must catch them all. You must catch them all. Try to catch them all. Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
And if you're driving around the greater St. Louis area tonight listening to us on the Big 550 KTRS, hello to all of you out there in the radio world. If you're streaming us on video, that means Joey V is in studio with me. We've got video on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, and thank you very much for watching. As always, if you're hearing us after the fact in the podcast form on whatever platform you get your podcasts, we appreciate you finding us there. I know a lot of people listen to us after the fact because I was thinking about this the other day. It seems like, it's hard. You got to be on at 9 o'clock and you've got to tune in and listen, whereas a podcast, you can listen to it whenever. So I think that's why we see a lot more people listening to it after the fact. But just put a note in your calendar, a little reminder, 9 o'clock, that's 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Every Sunday night, we do a live broadcast here from the Gold Tower at KTRS in Westport Plaza, and we're excited to have two phenomenal guests on tonight. Joining me on the phone once again, Big River Comic Con happening in Hannibal, Missouri. We've got the owner, operator, Deb Hays on with us again. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Always nice to talk to you. I'm so excited. Another year. I was trying to look back. How many years now? What year is this for Big River?
7 years.
7 years. Okay, because we missed COVID, and that was the year that threw me off because I couldn't remember. It was 7 or 8.
Yeah, we couldn't count COVID year because even though it was like 2 weeks before the event. They're like, well, you can't count that year because you didn't actually have it. I'm like, yeah, but we were ready to go.
Right. Well, you weren't alone. A lot of people, I know Wizard World that year here in St. Louis, they were bringing the entire cast of Smallville in, and I was so excited. And then obviously COVID just shut the world down. So you're in good company. A lot of cons weren't able to have one, so you're in good company.
Yeah. So this is year 7 for us. This is our second year in our new location, Hannibal High School, the Korf Gymnasium. So we're very excited to be back at that location. It's bigger than where we have been. So. Right. So we're very excited to be back there. So,
and this is your second year when you used to just have 3 guests. You've added a 4th guest last year, I think was the first time you'd done that. And it must have gone well for you because you did it again this year.
Yes. We have 4 guests this year. We've got Stephen Constantino. He was one of the Gamorrean guards in Return of the Jedi. He was one of them on the deck of Jabba's he was fighting with Jabba.
Yeah, the sail barge.
Yeah, on the sail barge. Yes, I was trying to think of what it was called. So, yes, he was one of them. And then we have Ming Chen, everybody's favorite. He's coming back. We also have Ron Simmons, who's a WWE Hall of Famer. A lot of other things he's accomplished. Mm-hmm. And then we have Ross Marquand coming this year. So he's, Aaron in Walking Dead, Red Skull and the Avengers. X-Men 97. He's done a lot of stuff. So very, very blessed to have gotten the amazing lineup we've got this year. So.
Yeah, and Ross Marquand, he's so good at impressions because I met him at GalaxyCon Richmond. He was here in St. Louis, but GalaxyCon Richmond, and he was just doing impressions, and it was so good. I mean, I'd say it's amazing. Some people have that ability to just you throw a name out and they'll do the impersonation. And Ross is one of those people who can just nail it.
Yes, he's doing a panel on Saturday, and I'm very excited for our attendees to get to listen to his story. He's got a really cool story. I'm excited for everyone to, kind of sit in on his panel as well.
And I think I was trying to remember, this is Ming's third visit?
No, Bing's been here 2 times. This is his second.
Okay.
In 2021, when we had Big River, after COVID, it was one of the first Comic-Cons that he was able, to come back to the con world. Because, there for a while, everybody's like, are we even going to be about conventions again?
Right.
And so he did like a little shout out for us, and he mentions that, Big River was the first con that welcomed him back after COVID. So this is his second time back in Hannibal. He was at Toyman's show not too long ago.
That's right. And I think, if I remember right, Ming was one of the reasons that Emily swallowed. Didn't he talk to her and say, oh, you've got to go to Hannibal? Because you had Emily a while ago.
Yes. She was. She had contacted him because I had reached out to her, and she asked Ming because Ming's at all the conventions, and he's like, "You got to do it, Emily. You got to do it." So.
Yeah. And you've always got a wrestler too. Because you always cover these bases. That it's just you always have a Star Wars person. And you've always got a wrestler. And Ron Simmons was how do you are you yourself like a big wrestling fan? Do you have a list of like these are the ones we're going to bring in, or do you kind of get feedback?
Well, my son, he was really into wrestling growing up. Like in the late '80s, early '90s. So I used to watch wrestling with my son. I'm kind of into wrestling a little bit. I don't watch it as much as what I used to. But yeah, we try to keep our guests, one from each fandom. Mm-hmm. It's kind of what my demographic likes. Yeah. I am thinking I might change things up a little bit next year already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So be on the lookout for 2027. But Yeah. It's just worked really well for us. So, but yeah.
And I think it's great that you've got these people coming back. Like Ming Chen wants to come back. Last year you had, his name's now totally escaped. Spencer Wilding.
Yeah.
And these people just they love coming back because it's for one thing, Hannibal's such a cool town. We're so lucky. We're kind of looked at as by a lot of people as flyover country, but there's so many cool places in Missouri, and Hannibal's one of those places.
It is really nice here. And even where you guys are at, St. Charles, that's a really nice area too. So I think, you guys come here to visit, and then a lot of us go there to visit. So
yeah, it's not that far of a drive, and there's it's such a nice town. There's all the things to do, and the downtown area, there's that great coffee shop that my wife and I always go to when we come visit your con. And they've got all the different cookies, and they even do themed cookies for the week of your Comic-Con. Did they start doing that on their own, knowing that you're doing this con, or was that something you kind of talked to them about?
Over the last few years, it's kind of worked out to where, I've reached out to them, and I think, we try to support each other as much as we can. I try to send, my attendees, here in the next week or so, we're going to start pushing some of the other places downtown to visit while you're here in Hannibal. So, we try to support each other. So, but yeah, you're talking about Java Jive. Yes.
Java Jive, that's it. Yes. Yes. I can tell you, if someone asked me, how do you get to the coffee shop? I'd be able to describe the exact route. I cannot think of the name to save my life though. So thank you. I usually just follow the smell of coffee, but no, it's so great. And there's little restaurants there. It's such a great, and I'll tell you honestly, the last time we were there, we stayed at that hotel right behind Fiddlesticks Restaurant, and my wife even said that's one of the best steaks that she's ever had in her life, the fillets at Fiddlesticks. Oh,
yes. Fiddlesticks was a favorite, yes.
And with the guests you've got, we know Stephen Constantino, for one, the Return of the Jedi, I feel like, is one of those movies that people just can't get enough. I think it's that they're into the 80s by that point. We're solidly in 83, so there's a lot of fans my age. That was probably their first Star Wars movie they saw in the theater. So it's so exciting you've got him coming to the show.
Yes. He's a super nice guy. He's a music producer and stuff. So he's got some great stories too. So he's he'll be a lot of fun for, the attendees to visit with and stuff.
And then I think Ming is just such a great, as far as just kind of covers all the bases. Like, he's a great host. And then he's also got great stories about working on Comic Book Men. He's got his work. He does those unboxings, because I watched his videos. He does these great unboxing videos for stuff that I've got. So I'm sure he's going to have some fun things planned for his visit there in Hannibal.
Oh, yes. It's always a fun time when Ming comes to Hannibal. Yes.
And then I think we're getting that second season of X-Men 97 this year. So I wonder if you'll be able to talk Ross into giving some spoilers for that.
But, yeah, I was kind of hoping that he might, yes.
And then just, like I said, his impressions, too. Obviously, he kind of, he took over the Red Skull in the Marvel Cinematic Universes going forward, and just did a fantastic job with that. And then, obviously, The Walking Dead, even though it's been off the air now for, 5 years, I think? It's just still got such a dedicated fan base. Yes, yeah. I was a huge Walking Dead fan for forever. So I think the last 2 years I kind of quit watching, but I was a huge Walking Dead fan too. So did you go back?
He does a lot of voice acting too. I mean, his list of characters, I didn't even realize how many characters he portrayed. I was just like, oh my gosh. And for those of you just now tuning in, we're talking with Deb Hays, the owner of Big River Comic Con. You can go to the website, bigrivercomiccon.com. You can see the list of guests she's got. They've got the pricing up there, so you're kind of wondering if you need to budget for how much you want to spend with each person and everything like that. And then a fantastic array of vendors. So if you're looking for comic books, if you're looking for toys, there's a lot of great vendors that I can speak from personal experience. A lot of great vendors at her event where you can go and find some really cool stuff. Nathan's Nerdy Knickknacks, fantastic 80s and 90s action figures and toys. We got a couple of new ones too. It's always good to bring in some new vendors, to keep it, to keep it new and interesting. So we've got some new vendors coming. We've got 3 food trucks this year. We have Mario Brother tournaments. Let's see which one. We got Mario Kart World tournaments happening. Super Smash Brothers tournament happening. So, it's going to be a lot of cosplay. The cosplay is on Saturday afternoons. We've had some amazing cosplayers in the community. It's every year. It just blows my mind how creative some of these folks are with their costumes and stuff. Yes. So, so it's Saturday is our big family day. We've got a couple of cars coming. We've got like a Batman car coming, possibly another interesting, car coming. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. And like I said, it's March 13th and 14th. It's 11 days out. Coming up very quick. And tickets are still available on the website. People want to go to bigrivercomiccon.com. They can buy the tickets online there. Is that a ticket feature? Because some people are last-minute buyers. Is that a feature where they should probably buy them on the website, or are there going to be tickets available at the door? So the weekend passes the weekend passes stop on March 10th. March 10th. But you can still buy weekend passes at the door, and day passes you can only buy at the door. And the reason why we do that, the ticketing fees are just kind of getting a little, it's cheaper to buy them at the door. And we'll have plenty of weekend passes available, on Friday still. So, March 10th is the last day to get the weekend passes online. You can still get your day passes throughout the weekend, and you can get weekend passes on Friday the 13th as well too. Friday the 13th. Any superstitions about having the con on Friday the 13th this year? I didn't even think about it, so I just said it out loud. Like, well, I'm not suspicious, so it'll be fine. No, and plus this is your lucky 7th year, so that's number 7. You're fine. That outweighs Friday the 13th. I know. It's just so crazy to me that it's been 7 years doing this, and every year I get just as excited as I did the first time. And then I don't know. It's just, I love doing this so much. I love being able to give back to the community, and being a part of the community. So, I don't know. It just brings me a lot of joy getting to do this for the area. So,
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. That's the great. And I know you also do a Halloween one in October as well. It's kind of like a sister convention.
yeah, we do Wicked Fest. This year, last year we did something a little different. We teamed up with the downtown, and we did like the costume contest.
Mm-hmm.
And then downtown has like the dead windows where the merchants like decorate their windows for Halloween. And then there was a Halloween parade. So it was like a full day of Halloween stuff going on in downtown Hannibal.
Nice.
And so much fun. We're probably going to do it again next year. Maybe some other things kind of added to it. So, yeah, it's kind of our evil twin, I guess you could say.
It's a good way to put it. Good way to put it. And you mentioned the costumes for Halloween, obviously, but you also mentioned the costume contest that'll take place at your convention on Saturday. And again, as someone who has witnessed this, I'm blown away by the level of the costuming that you get. These cosplayers come in for this event. Some of them are just phenomenal.
It's so crazy to me. I have to buy my cosplay,
Right.
you know.
Same.
But these guys, they make this stuff, and I'm just like, man, that is so, they're so talented. I cheat, I guess, and I just buy my stuff.
Yeah, I have no talent. I'm not able to actually build anything, so I definitely have to purchase things. But
Yeah.
but usually what I do is I try to support people like on Etsy who are craft makers who do this stuff professionally. That way, at least I'm supporting those people who actually do it. So
Yes.
better to do it that way. But no, it's always fun because I think and one of the things I love seeing is the pet costume contest that you guys do.
Well, we've had to do that online the last couple of years because we are in a new venue. So we kind of have to follow the guidelines of the. So we've been doing that online, and we may be taking over something this summer. It's still in the works. So the Cause Pause may go into the big downtown celebration over 4th of July. So it's but due to us being in the school, we had to do it online.
Yeah.
But in the past, it was at the convention place that we were. So, but yeah, the Cause Pause is always really fun. So, but we're like I said, some things are going to be happening this summer where Cause Pause may be happening live again, just in a different kind of setting. So I'm always working on something, it seems like.
I know the feeling, believe me.
I know you do.
This is your second year in the new facility, the Hannibal High School Corf Gym at 4650 McMaster's Avenue. I'm sure it's nice having the extra space, and now that you're in this space the second year, you're probably better at now we know how to utilize the new space, because when you first get in a new space, it can be tricky, where am I going to put everything?
Yeah, so the loadout. Yeah, we've got some things that we really changed up this year because, like you said, you got growing pains in a new location, your first time. And so there's going to be a lot of changes on the floor this year, like the layout's completely different. So we did have to change some things, but they're all for the best.
That's the like I said, when you kind of find when you move into a new space what works best. So those changes are inevitable. We had in the chats, we have Wonder Kim 58. Kim with 2 M says hi from Troy, Missouri. So I'm assuming that Wonder Kim will probably be attending Hannibal Comic Con.
Yeah, we would love to see you.
And
we're just right up the road from you guys.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a much shorter trip than it is for me coming in from St. Louis. So I'm a little envious of Wonder Kim 58 having that nice short journey from Troy to Hannibal.
Yeah, it's a pretty straight shot. So.
And what is the big thing? Like if someone's never been to Big River, maybe they are in Troy, maybe they're in Maryland Heights or here at Westport Plaza, or maybe they're in Alton, Illinois. What's the one big thing that you'd want to if you were pitching your con to someone who's never been to Big River Comic Con in Hannibal, Missouri before? What would you pitch them? What's the big thing that would draw them in, do you think?
Well, I feel like, with Big River Comic Con, we're not a big event. we're smaller. So when you come in to meet the celebrity guests, it's a little more personal. I feel like you get to spend a little more time with them than what you normally would, just because, we're not a huge event, so the conversations feel more personal, it feels like a big family.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. It's just very family oriented. It's just, I don't know how to explain it other than it's just, everything just feels so much more personal, from, the cosplay to the vendors. Like, the vendors are just so great. And like I said, it just feels like a big family.
Yeah. No, I think that's really what I kind of feel when I go too, is because when you go to, like, we just had GalaxyCon in downtown St. Louis here in October, and it's so big and almost a little overwhelming per se, but it feels very corporate, I guess, because this is and again, anyone listening from GalaxyCon or anyone who attended, this is not a slight against GalaxyCon, but it is kind of like one of those corporate traveling cons. It's going to be very similar in St. Louis than it is in Richmond, than it is in Memphis, and everything like that, where Big River has a flavor, a unique distinction to it, which is one of the things I love about your con.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Like, it's all, we don't have a lot of volunteers. The volunteers I do have, they're so dedicated because they love it like I do. And we're just there to make everybody, we just want everyone to have a good time. And it's just, I don't know, it's very laid back, not rushed. And again, it goes back to very personal, and you get to, like, spend a little bit of time with those celebrity guests that come in. So yeah, you just walk out feeling like you just made 1,000 friends,
Yeah, and I've not had the pleasure yet of meeting Steven or Ron, but I can say from meeting them before, Ross Marquand and Ming Chen are fantastic individuals, very personable, very delightful to chat with. So if you're in this listening area right now and you're thinking, boy, Hannibal, Missouri is not that far away, and it'd be kind of cool to meet these people, go for all that's holy. Go check out Big River Comic Con in Hannibal. We mentioned Stephen Constantino from Return of the Jedi, Ross Marquand from Avengers Endgame, from Walking Dead, X-Men 97, Ming Chen from just about everywhere, the stuff that he does with Comic Book Men and the View Askew universe, and then Ron Simmons from the wrestling world. You'll be able to meet all four of them there. Bring your stuff to get autographed, bring your action figures, your toys, Funko Pops, whatever it might be, and I'm sure, as always, these people have stuff there for you to sign. If you show up without anything, they've got 8x10s. A lot of them will have Funko Pops and things like that. Ming's always got DVDs and things like that for him to sign. So, and you'll probably find something from one of the vendors if all else fails.
I was going to say, a lot of the times the vendors, they know what guests are coming, and they make sure to have plenty of items related to those celebrity guests. So
yeah, very, very smart.
Great about bringing really cool stuff. So I always end up spending too much money.
Yeah, no, I know the feeling. You walk around and you're like, oh, I don't really need that, but it's a good price. And you end up like, bringing, that's why I try to go with limited cash. And then if I have to break out the charge card, I'm like, all right, I guess it's got to be really something I desperately need, which is obviously everything.
Yeah. Did it.
And again, if you're just now tuning in, it is Big River Comic Con. Again, March 13th and 14th at the Hannibal High School Corf Gym in historic Hannibal, Missouri. Just go to the website, bigrivercomiccon.com. Make sure you're following Big River Comic Con on, is it the best places? I think you're on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook.
Yeah, we're Instagram, Facebook. I have a website. I'm trying to build my TikTok, but,
It's tough. There's so much social media now.
It is so much, and I work full time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like I can't do it all.
No kidding, yeah. But I mean, you've always put on such a great show. The guests you bring in are always fantastic. Hannibal is very, very lucky to have you in their community bringing such an incredible show to town. And like I said, the fact that all these people like Spencer, like Ming, want to come back again is a testament to everything you've built there over these past 7 years, Deb. So continued success to you. Thank you for coming on the show tonight, and break legs this season.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm going to send you a message later. So
Okay.
Thank you for inviting me on the show again. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope we get to see everyone March 13th and 14th.
Looking forward to it, and we'll have more information. We'll have, if you're listening to this after the fact in the podcast version, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and we'll have the link to BigRiverComicCon.com there in the show notes. Deb Hays, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for spending some of your Sunday with us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. There
she goes. If you are looking to attend an event, like I said, she kind of nailed it. It's a personal, very intimate event, and it's a lot of fun. You actually get that one-on-one time with these people without a line of people staring you in the back of the head, waiting for you to get out of the way so they can have their turn. So it really is a nice venue to meet these guests who she's bringing in. She's got some really cool guests. So BigRiverComicCon.com, that's coming up again just under 12 days. So make sure you get your tickets online, but there are tickets available at the door for you last-minute people who want to do it that way. No shade thrown. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come right back in just a moment. We'll have Teo Penglis joining us to talk about his new podcast, The Great Escape. You're listening to Geek to Me Radio on the Big 550. Please stand by.
Sugar Woofer, how do you tell the twins apart? I sniff them. They both smell lemony. That's why they're called Lem and Ada. But which is which? Dog Defino.
New Lem and Ada with Sugar Woofer. Strawberry shortcake with custard sold separately.
They're here. Zero gravity cliffhangers. Cause you race them upside down. Plummeting through the giant loop as you reach for new speeds and use your skill to master the death-defying spiral and blast up the wall to zero gravity. Then, turn out the lights and you're in night glow. Now, make your final move to take the lead and win. Zero gravity cliffhangers. Now with night glow. New from Tyco. Go.
It's time to start the Strawberry Lamb Bake-Off in honor of my very new Sweet Sense kitchen. Okay, you can start cooking. Judge, I hope you like my apple pie. I'd better turn up the strawberries. Everything smells very delicious, like apples and strawberries. But the gingerbread wins. Who made the gingerbread?
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and
Sweet
owner
Sense
of
Kitchen
MasterCard.
comes with everything you see here. New from...
You are controlling the fastest train in the world. The most revolutionary machine on tracks. The incredible Super Turbo Train. So fast it travels in scale beyond the speed of sound. So powerful it can do what no other train can do. Race up a wall defying gravity. Now the ultimate. You streak upside down through the giant loop. You turn out the lights and you're in night glow. Streamlining the darkness. Take control of the fastest train in the world. Super Turbo Train. New from Tyco.
Here's the real thing in racing thrills. Here are Tonka's new Power Punchers, pocket-sized cars. You can rev them up and pow, pow, Power Punchers. You can race them and run them, jump them and bump them.
A Tonka toy will Tonka come for fun.
A pocket full of fun. Power Punchers, each sold separately. New from Tonka.
Why don't you drive a Tonka?
Fun and adventure, that's what you get when you drive Tonka trucks like Mud Runner, Roving Wrecker, and Jeep CJ, each sold separately. Trucks so rugged, so powerful, you know they're Tonkas.
Someday you'll be driving one of these. Till then, keep driving those Tonkas.
Why don't you drive a Tonka?
Mud Runner, Jeep CJ, and Roving Wrecker come with everything shown here, each sold separately from Tonka.
Come with me to a place
you'll be glad that you did. With so much more, oh what a store with Toys R Us kids. It's a magical land, so where else would you go? When everything's at Toys R Us and prices are low.
If it's new and hot,
It's a toy they've got.
and the prices are hard to beat.
You can search the whole world for Toys R Us kids know. It's the one and only place to go.
more games, more toys, fun.
It's the world's biggest toy store.
Now you can imagine all the power in the universe. The Masters of the Universe collection. 23 pieces, each sold separately. There's He-Man and these heroic action figures, Skeletor and the Warriors of Evil, and 4 fighting creatures. Castle Grayskull, Point Dread, and the Talon Fight. You put them together. And battle machines like the Attack Track, batteries not included. What would you do with all the power in the universe? He-Man, Skeletor, and all other items from the Masters of the Universe collection, each sold separately. From Mattel.
So the girl filled her cart in the Toys R Us store. And when that cart was filled with toys, she filled up 15 more.
Get Mattel's Feeling Fun Barbie with neat denim outfit at a great everyday low price. And Barbie's Ice Cream Shop from Mattel is the coolest place in town. The ice cream cart lets your child make real ice cream.
Hi, this is Samantha Newark, the original voice of Jem, and Jerrica Benton from Jem and the Holograms, and you're listening to Geek to Me Radio. It's Showtime Synergy.
Welcome back to the show. Geek to Me Radio, heard here every Sunday night on the Big 550 KTRS. I'm your host, James Enstall. While we wait for Teo Penglis to join us, I want to make sure we tell you about our premier sponsor, the Greater St. Charles Convention and Visitors Bureau. You know them from the website, discoverstcharles.com. That's Discover St. Charles. Always something cool happening down there. But this weather kind of going up and down lately here. We've had cold days. We've had days that feel like summer. It's you never know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you, there's always something going on regardless of the weather in historic St. Charles, whether it's one of their signature festivals like Christmas traditions, Legends and Lanterns, or Once Upon a Valentine's Day, the ice sculpting event that they have going on in January. They've got food truck days in Frontier Park, Scottish Highland days, and things like that. They just had their Mardi Gras parade last month in February. Always something happening. Make sure you keep up at the website, discoverstcharles.com. Click on the events tab. Check out the things to do tab. Always something cool happening. Always great shops, too, to be visiting all along Main Street. Maybe you just want to get out and, I want to go out and play some arcade games. Check out the Soda Museum and the arcade right there in the North Main area of Main Street. They got North and South Main. This is a North Main. When you walk in, all these cool soda displays, Pepsi, 7-Up, all the way going back to the 30s and 40s. And then downstairs in the basement is a retro arcade where you can play skee-ball, you can play Asteroids. They've got Pac-Man, all the arcade games, and a really cool snack bar. You can get some beverages, a pretzel, and some stuff like that while you play some cool arcade. Maybe you want the air hockey table, whatever it might be. Check them out. You can also grab some great food from places like Sugar and Slice, the Main House, Novellas. And then, obviously, if you're looking to do some shopping, they've got First Capital Trading right there in South Main. They've got Cozy Shop, which has fantastic gift ideas for anyone you might be looking for something unique to get them. It's all right there in historic St. Charles. DiscoverStCharles.com, again, is that website. You can plan your trip, whether you're in Hannibal, Missouri, like Deb was. Maybe you're in L.A., like our friend Teo. Maybe you just haven't visited for a while, and you're right here in the greater St. Louis area. Maybe you're in Troy. Maybe you're in Alton. Go check them out at the website first. Plan your trip. DiscoverStCharles.com. See all the cool things there are, the amazing things to see and do. DiscoverStCharles.com. As we always say, it's an historically good time. While we wait for Teo, I know off air, Joey V and I were discussing last week. He reviewed, I should say, the Scream franchise, and he finally got to see Scream 7, which you said was actually your second favorite of the franchise?
That is correct, James. I watched all of the movies in pretty rapid succession. I started back in November of 2025 and was slowly watching them to get ready for 7 because I knew I had to talk about it on the radio, and I have a different point of view than people who have watched it as they came out and have grown up with these movies. I feel like people who make Scream their entire identity, they say it's their favorite franchise, they're looking at these movies through rose-colored glasses. People used to say 3 is awful, and now people are looking back saying, it wasn't that bad. So I see how people are changing their minds as they go along. So me, watching them all in a row and not being the biggest fan of them, I actually liked Scream 7 a lot more than the longtime fans. I've seen people saying that this is the worst one in their opinion, but I don't agree at all.
Really?
It is dark. It is gory. It is the goriest one of the entire franchise. Now, I say this is my second favorite because you don't have a franchise without Scream 1. So you have to automatically, if you like these movies at all, you have to say Scream 1 is the best. But I love that Neve Campbell, who is the heart and soul of this series, is the star. She is in almost every scene, and it is about her story with her daughter. and she doesn't do anything stupid. She's very smart. She's got guns. She's all about the double tap to the heads, and she's teaching her daughter how to survive in a world where she's grown up traumatized. And it's always good to get out of California. That's always been annoying as well. 1 through 6, they were
Woodbury,
in California. Even in number 3, they went to Hollywood, but they were stuck in California. This one, they're in Indiana, small town in Pine Grove. That reminded me of Main Street St. Charles. It was so cool to see these gory scenes of her versus these Ghostface killers and what could have been shot here on Main Street. I like to imagine us making a movie with all of Main Street at our disposal, where we could just break through glasses of the front shops that are all along Main Street. So it was fun to think of it that way. And all of the callbacks to the other 6 movies, I didn't find that they took me out of the movie at all. You know that I have a problem with some of the meta stuff that they do in these movies. Like when Wes Craven is literally dressed up as Freddy Krueger mopping the floors in Scream 1, I think, come on, guy. You're directing this movie, and it's weird. It's a weird callback. They didn't do any of that stuff, and I think that's the problem that people are having with this. It's not funny, really, at all. It's not silly. It plays it deadly serious, and maybe that's what Kevin Williamson kind of wanted the entire time. He wrote 1, 2, and 4, and he's been a godfather of all of these movies, shepherding them along. And when they left out Neve Campbell and lost the entire plot after 6 because of firings and quittings, Neve Campbell, they backed up the Brinks truck. They said, here's $7 million. You're executive producer. You're in charge. And she said, I want Kevin Williamson, the original writer, to write and direct this one. And I think it turned out well. The goriest kill in this whole movie was so creative. I'm going to spoil it just because I want people to see this movie.
All right, spoilers right now. If you're listening, you're going to get the quick spoiler from Scream 7.
Someone who's Ghostface, I'm not going to say who, picks up a character while they're in a bar and impales his head on a beer tap in a bar and then slides down. And then when his head tips back on the beer tap, beer starts shooting out of his mouth like his head became a beer tap. And I thought, this is so creative. I laughed so hard. Now, if you see this in a theater, people are going to lose their minds. I saw it at the AMC Esquire Thursday night, and when one character pulled up, it was like Thor grabbing the hammer or something in an Avengers Endgame. I mean, people stood up, they clapped. You don't get an experience like that at home. You got to see this in the theater. It was so fun to watch. I gave it a 3 out of 5 because it's still a convoluted reveal on who the killer might be, and I just never have gotten on board with them pulling it out of their butts, who the killers are. And if you are already tired of AI, that is the meta commentary. So you may groan when you find out that's what they do. They use AI and deepfakes to trick Sydney. And I think that's what a real killer would do nowadays. They would use deepfakes to... They're doing it to my grandma right now. They take my voice off the radio and they tell her, Grandma, Joey needs some money. Can you send it? And she's been duped 10 or 11 times already. So
you need to get off the radio, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
You literally just gave them a soundbite.
This is like the Olympics. You do not have permission to disseminate my voice, people. Quit recording this. No podcasting.
Same for me. James has the same thing. No, don't use my voice.
But it's getting review bombed as well. I mean, there's a lot of pro-Palestine protesters that are not happy about what happened with the fallout of the last movie because the last actress, Barrera, she quit.
Right.
Actually, she was fired. I think it was a mutual agreement that after she made some pro-Palestine comments that she wouldn't be in the next movie. And then Jenna Ortega quit after that. And then then the director quit too because he was getting death threats. So now this Scream 7 has been a pro-Palestine rallying cry. There were protesters at the premiere in Hollywood. Oh, wow. So it's kind of bizarre how many one-star reviews you'll see on Letterboxd. In every comment section on YouTube, it'll say Free Palestine as well. So it's not even about that, but I see how people are getting their activism in by attacking this movie.
All right. We've got in the comments, Spidey has plot, says next time ask Ralph Macchio, the Marvel editor, if he has any social media. I know for a fact Spidey has plot that he does not have any social media. I've asked him before. He is not available on any social media posts that I'm aware of, but next time I see him, which might be a terrific con this summer, I will mention that to him. Nostalgic Pod Blast, our friend Chance in Atlanta says hi from Atlanta, watching the SAG Actor Awards while listening to you guys. The In Memoriam segment blew me away. We've lost a lot of people in this past year. A lot of actors. It's crazy how many we've lost. So I'm sure that In Memoriam section probably took away a good half hour from the from the
we
awards.
Just lost our friend Carradine.
That's right. He was on our show last year.
And that actually made me cry when I saw that news. I was like, we just talked to him. He was talking about a Revenge of the Nerds prequel sequel that he had an idea for.
Yeah, new podcast that he just started that we had him on to talk about. It was very sad. I'm like, did I read that wrong? He died? That was crazy.
Robert
very
Carradine,
sad.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very sad to think about. One of the movies I went and saw, this may have been, I'm not shy. If I made a mistake, I'll admit it. This may have been me not sending the link to Teo because I just tried to go through my email to contact them very quickly at commercial break, and maybe I didn't send them the link. So if anyone from Teo's team is listening, I sincerely apologize. If so, we'll probably try to get him on next Sunday. We've got a section of the show we can probably work him into next Sunday. So if we don't get Teo on tonight, we'll have him on next Sunday. My apologies for all of you tuned in, all you Days of Our Lives Tony DiMera fans out there. We'll try to get him on next week. But I went and saw finally the Sam Rockwell movie that had just come out. I don't know if we didn't get a screener for this one or if I just wasn't able to go to the screener, but I finally went and saw Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. You did not see this one, correct?
No, I saw it was about 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I thought, I'll wait till it comes out. I know that's so rude of me, but I saw it was about time travel, and I thought, what a great premise, though. It's getting pretty positive reviews.
It was very unique. I didn't know what to expect because this is one of those movies that, again, I didn't see previews for on purpose because I try to avoid those. But it's funny because I went and paid to see this movie. We didn't get a screener for it. I had to sit through a bunch of previews. So I'm like, well, that's all right. But the new preview, I saw one for Ready or Not 2, which I already said is one of my most anticipated films personally of this year. So excited for that movie. I cannot wait. Plus, it's got Sarah Michelle Gellar in it, who is one of my top female actresses of all time. So excited to see her pop up in that one. But Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Great cast. I kept looking at one of the cast members going, gosh, she looks familiar. I kept trying to think about, was she in Doctor Who? I didn't recognize her because she had bangs in this, and that's all it took, I guess. Juno Temple from Ted Lasso is one of the people he's in this adventure with. And Sam Rockwell shows up in the diner at the very beginning of this movie, says, hey, I'm a time traveler. I've been here. This is my 117th visit. I'm trying to find the right combination of people in this diner who are going to help me stop the end of the world. And people just dismiss him. Oh, he's a crazy person. He's homeless. Look at how he's dressed. But he knows their names. And he's like, no, put your hand down. You've been with me the past 3 times. With your bad knees, no, we can't take you with us. And they're like, oh, my gosh. So he kind of immediately this guy can't be crazy. He must actually be time traveling. And it's inventive. I think it's a fresh idea, which I always like to see those. It's not a recycled, rehashed. It gets a little weird in some places, but the overall premise of the movie was such that I didn't mind it. It's a little absurd, but it also has a big focus on where AI is going in the world and the dangers and threats that it poses. It's just a really worthwhile movie. I think on Letterboxd, if I'm not mistaken, I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. So it's got Sam Rockwell, who's always good, probably one of the greatest actors of our time currently. If you liked him in anything, if you liked him in Iron Man or 3 Billboards or whatever it was you saw him in, it's another great performance. Overall, great cast, a lot of fun, and I'd recommend it. If you haven't had a chance to go see it yet, go to the theater, because like Joey V said, there's a lot of those moments where everyone's laughing. It's one of those contagious things, like, oh, that's having that communal experience with a bunch of strangers in a dark room while you're eating popcorn. You won't be able to recreate that at home, no matter how many weird people you ask into your home. So I highly recommend, if you are looking for something new to see and you haven't checked that one out yet, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is in theaters now still. But it's probably not going to be around much longer because I think it's probably on its 3rd or 4th week of release. So, yeah, that'd be my recommendation to go see that one.
Lovely. I remember Gore Verbinski as the director, and I love that movie, Rango. It's a cartoon, but it's for adults. It's got Johnny Depp as it's a crazy road lizard or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's always good to see Gore back. I know he got stuck in the Pirates world for a while. Does Johnny Depp pop in this?
No.
Okay.
Not in this. That would have been kind of funny if he'd made a little cameo.
That would have been. I bet he's in there secretly or something. Maybe he's in a bunch of prosthetics. Kevin Smith did that with him once, where he had Johnny Depp in a movie, didn't tell anybody.
You never know. I guess it could happen, but I didn't notice too many. A lot of it's, well, I can't say that without spoiling it, so never mind. You'll just have to go see it. But as far as I know, no Johnny Depp in Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Speaking of movies, too, I've been on the road to watch a movie a day every single day for 2026. And I mentioned before, some of them I've never seen before. Occasionally, if I'm like, I haven't got a lot of time, I'll put in a movie so I can watch it if I'm trying to do something else at the same time, because I know the movie, but that way I'm at least watching another movie to fulfill my thing. But I'd never seen, some of these movies have just been awful. Like I saw Real Men from 1987. I'm like, oh, it's John Ritter. This will probably be pretty good. Not so much. I gave it 1.5 stars. It was just absurd. Just like out of nowhere. It's like they wrote the plot as they went along. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just kind of weird. And you can't really tell, is John Belushi's character purposely pranking John Ritter at certain points? At what time is it become? And then the roles switch. It's really weird. So I did not like that one. But I just saw for the first time The Freshman from 1990 with Marlon Brando and Matthew Broderick. And that was a very enjoyable movie. Some of those movies as we get the 80s turn into the 90s, and some of those were really good movies. And I've advocated before that the 90s was almost a renaissance for film because there's so many great movies, especially in the mid-90s when we were getting a lot of independent studios popping up. And they were making these movies that nowadays we wouldn't see because they would get killed. No distribution for that. We don't have the budget for it. And I think that's one of the things I'm liking about going back and revisiting some of these movies because we get some clunkers like Real Men, and we all get some from really good ones like The Freshman.
And I'm worried about you because I see these 1 and 1.5 star reviews fly across my letterbox because I follow you, and I think he is just torturing himself. But it sounds like you're not doing my method. It sounds like you're just scrolling through Tubi, and if a thumbnail looks exciting, you'll click on it because you're trying to get one a day. So why spend all the time searching if you're just trying to get it in? Don't waste time. Me, I'm always laboring over the decision because I've got Letterboxd Premium, Letterboxd Pro. I can search all of my watch list of 1,000 movies and then search it by service and sort them by rating, by all these different ways. So I can specifically say only movies that are on Shudder if I'm in a horror movie mood, or only movies that are on Amazon Prime if I feel like watching commercials about laundry detergent before the movie starts. So I actually have found a lot of gems just sorting by that, and then knowing that there's some people that I follow who only watch bonkers, crazy horror films because horror doesn't really get the same leeway as other dramatic films.
Right.
So one of the guys that I follow, his name is, it used to be #1 Bratz fan. Like his whole personality was about following him because he loves the Bratz doll movies. And I thought, what a weird guy. But he gave this movie Demons 5 stars, and it's by Lamberto Bava. It's one of these Italian horror films, and Dario Argento, one of the greatest directors of these Italian horror films ever. He helped produce it and directed a bunch of horror films himself. And when I put on Demons, it was one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was so meta because it takes place inside of a movie theater, and then what happens on screen starts happening to the people in the theater. And then there's samurai swords, and there's motorcycles, and there's demons and vampires, and it was nuts. I highly recommend checking out a bunch of Italian horror films. It's weird because their mouths don't ever match up because it's cheaper to shoot without sound when you're doing it and then dub over it later. And then you can just hire the same person to do all the voices. So sometimes you'll hear a weird voice come out of, a big black guy's mouth, and you're like, what is going on? Well, they dubbed it later. So check out Demons if you can. That's on Shudder. It's on Tubi. But are you usually a Tubi guy yourself? Is that where you're sticking?
I found it because I feel like I've been through Netflix, and I just did that thing. They had a deal where you get stars for $1 a month if you join in December, which I did. And there's just not a lot of stuff on stars that I liked. Netflix, I feel like I've either seen them all or it's stuff like, I don't really. But Tubi just seems like always surprises me. Like I'll go through and it's like, because you watch this, would you like to watch this? I was like, oh my gosh. Like I've got one in my queue now. Tomorrow night's movie that I'm going to be watching is A Fine Madness with Ted Danson and Howie Mandel. And I'm like, that is a weird pairing. And it's from 1980 something, 6 or 7. So I'm kind of looking forward to see that and check that one out. But it's I'm always getting surprised. Olivia Miller, 1388, is in the chats with us. Olivia Miller wants to know, have I ever seen Ruthless People with Danny DeVito? I think I rented that on VHS a long time ago, Olivia. It's probably due for a rewatch. I'll have to see if it is on Tubi because I like Danny DeVito. But then again, I like John Ritter too, and I was very disappointed with Real Men. So I'll have to go back and give Ruthless People a watch if it's on Tubi.
Yeah, I just watched War of the Roses. Danny DeVito directs that with Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas.
Woof, woof.
And then I loved Throw Mama from the Train back in the day. Owen.
Crazy poop.
Oh, my goodness. And Ritter, I just watched Noises Off for the first time, and that's a very famous play that is just slapstick, crazy. They tell the story 3 different times from in front of the stage and then behind the stage, and everything just goes crazy, and there's women in lingerie running around. I loved seeing the Noises Off adaptation for film with John Ritter.
I don't know if I've seen that film version. Now that you're saying that, I'm trying to think. I know I've seen the play before. I'll have to go back and maybe add that too. But yeah, but every time I go through Tubi, I'm like, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. So I've got like 30 movies in my queue already, and most of them are in that 80s and 90s vein. That it's like I said, I feel like I'm doing an advertisement for Tubi right now, but it's a free app you can download. We watch most of our stuff through the Xbox, and it's a lot of great movies. You sit through the ads, but the ads are pretty quick. It doesn't really detract too much from the movie because they tend to cut it at proper points where you'd see a commercial anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, a lot of good movies. Speaking of ads we should be running, though, I want to make sure we tell you about Bugs Comics and Games. They are located in O'Fallon, Missouri on Bryan Road, easily accessible from either Highway 70. I'm doing these little lines on the thing like you can look down and see what map I'm drawing with my fingers on the desk here, but it's between Highway 70 or 364. You can get there to Bryan Road in O'Fallon, Missouri. Go check out Larry's selection of back issues, new issues, toys, games, and all that kind of cool stuff. And if you see something you really like, and you're like, gosh, that's a good price, but I just wish it was a little, join the Avengers Club. That way you start saving money. So you join the Avengers Club, you come back the next time and get that for a little bit of a discounted price because you're in the club. And you get to get money off all those things I just mentioned. New issues, bags, boards, toys, games, cards, stickers, pins, whatever it might be. And then make sure you start a pull list because I know a lot of comics have been selling out. And, you know, I'll ask Larry, I'm like, oh, is this already gone? He's like, yeah, that one's sold out already. But if you have it on your pull list, he puts it aside for you. So that way I never miss out on Absolute Batman or Infernal Hulk or Amazing Spider-Man or Justice League. They're always in my bin when I get there. And if they've sold out, I still have them. So make sure you start a pull list and join the Avengers Club. Those are the two things you want to do when you go to Bugs Comics and Games. Follow him on Instagram as well, Instagram and Facebook, Bugs Comics and A&D Games. That way you can check out the stuff he posts there. If he's got some stuff that just came in, he'll put them up online. That way your local comic book store may have closed, or maybe it's sold out of a certain comic in your area, like the Archie versus Evil Dead. I know that's sold out in a couple places, but Larry will put some aside, put them up online. That way if you miss it and you want it, send him a message on Instagram or Facebook and say, hey, I'd love to get one of those. He'll send you a PayPal invoice. You pay it. He ships it right to your door. That way you get the comic without maybe your local place sold out of, and you can still get the book, though. That's a great way to make sure you follow him there on Instagram and Facebook. Bugs Comics and Games. Very proud to have them as the official comic book sponsor here on Geek to Me Radio. Yes.
Will you be gambling on the Oscars at all? Will you, now that I've gotten you addicted to gambling, will we be going on to Polymarket, which isn't exactly gambling because you're not betting against the house. You're actually buying shares of answers, you know, will they or won't they? And then all the people that lose, they give all their money to the people that win. So that's how come these Polymarket prediction markets are able to be legal in all 50 states, because it's not exactly gambling.
Is it like Keldish? Because I keep seeing the
same thing. Kalish,
yeah, where you can gamble on anything. That seems weird. I don't know if I like that.
Now, the Screen Actor Guild Awards just happened tonight.
Chance was watching those in Atlanta there.
On Netflix, and it looks like that will help solidify what people are thinking for the Oscars. I mean, Michael B. Jordan wins for Sinners. Amy Madigan wins for Weapons.
Oh, good.
And then your friend, Harrison Ford, who you love on Shrinking, he won for Lifetime Achievement. I don't know how many people he was running up against for that. I think maybe that was predetermined.
Maybe he said, hey, we're going to give it to him this year.
He had to do a speech, and he was like,
I didn't crash my plane this year.
Thank you.
He pointed to the audience a lot. You find this man.
But it's fascinating to see the Polymarket stuff where even if you don't have an idea who's going to win, it seems like the entire internet is just already determined that Paul Thomas Anderson is going to win Best Director for One Battle After Another, because he has 92% of all of the money. Because, I mean, there's, let's say there's $1 million involved, and if you bet and you win Paul Thomas Anderson, you're not going to make a lot of money unless you bet huge, baby.
But if you go against him,
then it's worth it just to bet on Chloe Zhao. I mean, there's no downside unless she loses. You'd make so much money.
She loses, that's a downside.
It's the only downside.
But you only lose, like if I bet $5 on her, I'd only lose $5, where I could make a lot of money, I'm assuming, if...
Yeah, with Paul Thomas Anderson, it's $1 a share. So you have to bet 92 cents to win 8 cents. So in order for that to even mean anything, you got to bet like $100,000 or something. But it seems like it's a lock, right? I think you and I should both go halfsies on this. It's a lock that Paul Thomas Anderson's going to win, and what's it going to hurt? We'll just be out $100,000.
Right, $50,000 each. What can be? People outside the window. Hello.
We'll make $800. It'd be worth it. We could bring in another guest for Two Rivers Comic Con.
Exactly. It's only money, right?
I actually was looking at Polymarket for the Trump speech, which was crazy because it was the 60 minutes or under, or 70 minutes, 80 minutes, 90 minutes, or 100 minutes and over. And everyone knew that he was going to try and set a record. He even said himself, I'm going to make this the longest speech ever. And I said, how do you not bet on 100 minutes or over? He went 107 minutes. And I just thought, why didn't I put $100,000 on Trump to go over 100 minutes? And he was cheeky about it, too. He did an hour and 47 minutes or whatever he did. Because he got to get that 47
This was the longest speech that anyone's ever given for a State of the Union. It's a very long speech. A lot of people have said I should have gone longer. I don't know. I don't think I should.
He was doing Donald Says. That's how they're going to pick the next president after his third term. He's going to be like, everyone stand. Okay. Put your hand on your nose. Oh, Donald didn't say.
That's right. They'll just eliminate people slowly.
Last one standing gets to be next president.
Who knows? That might work. It might be a better way. Strange women in ponds distributing swords. For those of you Monty Python fans out there. This is gone by very quickly. I'm sorry we didn't get Teo on. I think that is my fault. I don't think I got him the link in time. Maybe I didn't send it. I was going through my emails during our last break, which is why that last break was so long, to see if I sent it to him. But I could not seem to see where I sent the link. I sent it along with the phone number, and I've been trying to watch the phone banks and the login here, but I think it was my fault. So I apologize. Everyone listening right now, we'll try to get Teo on next Sunday for a brief period so we can talk about his podcast, The Great Escape. We had him on previously for The Lost Treasures.
He's a slippery guy. He works on soaps, Sometimes you can't find him.
He's all sudsed up, I guess. But no, we had Teo on before. He's brilliant, so fascinating, and I'd love to have him on again. So hopefully we will get him back as long as his people aren't mad at me for botching this whole thing up now. We should have had him on tonight. I apologize for all of you tuned in, all you Days of Our Lives fans or Mission Impossible fans, but we'll try to get him on next Sunday, so tune in then. Later on this month, we're going to have Andrea Romano joining us on, I think, the 27th, whatever the last Sunday is, so she can talk about coming here to St. Charles for Two Rivers Comic Con, which will be very exciting to have her here. She doesn't do a lot of con appearances. We were hoping to get her last year for Justice League with Susan and Carl and Phil and Maria, but she couldn't make it because of a wedding, but she very graciously agreed to come back this time around. And we haven't officially announced this yet, kids, but because I feel bad that we didn't get Teo on, I'll let you on all the secret. We're bringing in Kimberly Brooks.
Shut up.
Which is phenomenal. She's a great voice actor. We had her on way back when we were on the other radio station for Voltron, for their final season of DreamWorks Voltron. She voiced Allura in the DreamWorks Netflix version of Voltron. So we're going to have her at our con, thanks to the generous sponsorship of Bob Koppler and WEP, that's World Events Productions. We've got some other cool things coming up for Two Rivers Comic Con that we're very excited to tell you about, too. Make sure you're following Two Rivers Comic Con on Facebook and on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter as well. We try to post all sorts of announcements. We're still trying to get one or two more guests to bring in, but right now our guest list is pretty firmly set unless we can get those two people I've been reaching out to, if we can convince them to come in, which would be great if we can bring them in. So the number 2 Rivers Comic Con this week, we're going to be announcing a brand new giveaway. If you buy tickets, we're going to let you in on a little extra something that we'll be giving away I'll go ahead and say it, in cooperation with the fabulous Fox Theater. Make sure you stay tuned to our social media for that information, which will be coming up here this week. I think that's it. I think we covered all the bases. Thank you very much for reviewing Scream with us and talking about that franchise. Anything else, last minute thoughts you want to say before we leave?
It looks like Screen Actors Guild gave a posthumous award to Catherine O'Hara for her appearance on the studio. So I'm going to go back and watch that clip and see what it was like in the room, if people were able to keep it together. I doubt it.
Yeah, that would be hard. I had trouble keeping it together when we did our in memoriam for her a couple weeks ago. But thank you all of you to listen. Thank you for joining us in the chats. Thank you to Deb Hays. Make sure you check out Big River Comic Con in Hannibal. Just under 12 days. Go to thebigrivercomiccon.com to get your tickets. We'll be doing Toyman next Sunday, so come see me and Eddie Deason at Toyman this coming Sunday, a week from today, at the Machinist Hall in Bridgeton. I'll see you there with some Justice League Revisited stickers, Two Rivers Comic Con posters, and more. Until next week.
That's a show. This is Geek to Me Radio.
Thank you, Hannibal, Missouri. Good night.
The Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.